This season, I want to do something different. In my hands, I got the picks of who I got going to the finals, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these picks in these envelopes of my predictions, and we're going to keep them until the finals happens. And we're going to see if I was right. Woo! Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. So, the game just ended. I made a video about that. Congrats to the Toronto Raptors. You did it. You got to the NBA Finals. I'm so happy for you guys. And I've been really impressed with how the team played as a whole. These last 4 wins, these last 4 games, you guys showed up as a team, offensively and defensively, and you got those wins. Congratulations to the Raptors. Now go out there and do your best against the Warriors. I would love to see you guys upset them and win the championship, because it will remind me of the Detroit Pistons beating the Los Angeles Lakers back in 2004. That would be amazing if the Raptors win. I hope so. I'm rooting for them. Best of luck. But we're here about these. Yeah. Remember these? I know you remember this because you saw the start of the video. At the beginning of the postseason, I put 2 envelopes for the teams I believe was going to make the NBA Finals. The one representing the Eastern Conference and the one representing the Western Conference. I have not edited these. I have not opened them. I have not changed them at all. We're going to open them right here and see if I got my picks right. Okay. So for the Western Conference. Damn, I really taped these. Taped them, and I'm going to break them open. It's finally time. I picked the Golden State Warriors. Now, obviously, that's not a surprise. I looked at this postseason and didn't see a single team there that I honestly believe was going to take down the Warriors. The best team opponent that I believe had the best chance to beat the Warriors was the Houston Rockets. And we saw how that series went. One of the worst Game 6s I've ever watched in my life. That was just no fight in them. You saw how they were in Game 5. When KD went down, they did not take over. Harden and CP3 did not take over. They did not close that game. They did not find a way to win. And Game 6, they just seemed they lost it. They saw how Game 5 ended, and they just didn't know what to do. So, that was one of the worst Game 6s I've ever watched. It's terrible. Terrible to see a team that had an opportunity with everything on the line in your house in an elimination game, and they didn't show up. It was pretty pathetic. But other than that, the first one with the Clippers, they were a pleasant surprise. They took up to 6 games as well. I actually found that enjoying. So, good job to the Clippers. I hope they get a star this offseason because they played hard and they deserve one. And then the Houston Rockets went out embarrassingly, but not as pathetic and embarrassing as the Portland Trailblazers. In games 2, 3, and 4, they had a double-digit lead going into halftime. And all 3 games they blew it, and in all 3 games they lost. How do you get swept in the Western Conference Finals when you have a double-digit lead against the Golden State Warriors? Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum were just nowhere to be found for a majority of those 4 games. Just nowhere to be found. Absolutely pathetic. Disappointing performance. Just an embarrassment. You go from getting swept in the first round to making the conference finals the next year and getting swept again? Pathetic. But we had the Warriors winning. I just believe that, they were the most stacked team. You had Boogie Cousins, you had KD, as well as the most of, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. They still had a lot of major pieces there, although I did not anticipate both Cousins and KD getting injured, and I definitely didn't anticipate that with those 2 getting injured, Steph Curry would go off like this. I knew he was definitely capable of doing that, but I didn't expect it. So, good on the Warriors. But this Eastern Conference, oh boy, been waiting for this one. There you go. The team I picked to go to the NBA Finals in the Eastern Conference was the Toronto Raptors. Yes, you heard it here. Yes, you have definitely heard it here. I don't care if I'm repeating myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I picked the Toronto Raptors to make it to the NBA Finals because they had the most playoff experience out of all the other teams in the Eastern Conference, and they had this man, number 2, Kawhi Leonard. I picked this Raptors team to make it to the finals because I had so much faith in Kawhi. I said he was going to carry this team to the finals, and boy, did he do. In the first round, they lose that first game to the Magic, and everyone's thinking the Raptors aren't as strong as they do. Bam! 4 straight. Then you go in that tough series with Philadelphia, who I believe that they got, if they were to have made it to the conference finals, I believe they could have beaten the Bucks as well, because they were so talented. It's just that Embiid was injured and stuff, and Ben Simmons doesn't have a jump shot and stuff. Jimmy Butler was basically holding up he was holding up a lot of the court. He was holding it down for them, is what I'm trying to say. He was holding it down for the team for the most part. And he was the heart and soul of that Philadelphia team. I hope he stays because Philadelphia loves him. But yeah, that tough 7-game series and Kawhi Leonard hitting the first ever buzzer beater in a Game 7 in NBA history to send the Toronto Raptors to the Eastern Conference Finals, that was amazing. I was sweating next that series because I was like, man, I picked the Raptors to get to the finals. If they go down in this Game 7, I'm going to look like a fool. I can't have them going out in the second round. At least make the conference finals. And boy, Kawhi took them there. Kawhi's been spectacular. He has proven why he should be the best player in the NBA. And now we get to the conference finals against the Bucks. The team's down 0-2. It looks like the Bucks are just dominating. They're going to take control. And then the Game 3, him and Siakam in double overtime taking over and carrying this team to get that win. And the team saw how bad their leader did. And just how bad and hard he played to carry that team and get that win. And we saw how he was injured. And when your leader's injured, you expect your players to step up. And boy, did they do. Powell, man, was so good. Norman Powell, he was so good in this series. He was amazing. Fred VanVleet, I was so hard on this dude throughout the postseason. But, man, did he show up big from Game 4 onwards. He showed up huge. I guess, man, having your firstborn son, all of a sudden you got all this tension out, you know, your wife's no longer pregnant, you got your firstborn son, now you can just play basketball. Congrats to him. He showed up and made a lot of big shots in these 3 games. Congrats to him. He deserves a lot of credit. I gave him a hard time, but he came out here and he proved me wrong. And I love when NBA players prove us fans wrong, because that means we get to watch history and get to enjoy great basketball. So I love that. And you saw, guys, a lot of dudes stepped up. Siakam was still doing his thing. Kyle Lowry had a really good series, in my opinion. He didn't make any, boneheaded mistakes for the most part. He got far away from that 0-point game he had early in the postseason. In this series, he played relatively well. He made a lot of great plays, a lot of clutch plays. I liked the way Kyle Lowry played. Ibaka, he was up and down in this series, but when they needed him in big, crucial moments, both in, Game 4, it was either Game 4, it was Game 4 and in Game 6 specifically, he showed up and he did his job. Marc Gasol, he did what he could, you know, he was here and there, he was a little bit iffy throughout the series, but he did his job. All these guys, all of them, should be proud of how they played and how they got to the finals. Now the Bucks, man, is going to be tough. You lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 wins away from making the NBA Finals, and you couldn't do it. You're a young team, man. Giannis has got a lot he's got to work on. He's got to make sure he gets a consistent shot in this offseason. He's got to practice that. We saw in this Game 6 he was willing to take threes, and he actually hit 2 threes, and I like that. I want to see him shoot more. I want him to shoot more outside in the perimeter. I hope he works on that, and I hope he comes out next season and does that, because it would be great to see. Because, you know, if he can get that, if he can come, he's got to be more creative. He can't just always be like, I got to get to the paint. I got to get to the paint. He's got to develop a post game, and he's got to develop a perimeter game. If he can do that, man, Giannis is really going to be unstoppable. But it's not their year. Every great player has got to go through some level of adversity, and I believe that's the adversity that Giannis is going to need to help him elevate his game and this team into the finals, hopefully in the future. So best of luck to them. But the Raptors, they went out and they did it. I picked them because I was like, they have the most postseason experience. You got Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, 2 guys. They won a championship. You got Kawhi Leonard as a finals MVP. You got a guy in Ibaka, him himself. He's been to the finals as well. You got a guy in Marc Gasol who's had a lot of playoff experience, been in a lot of tough playoff games. Kyle Lowry himself has been in a couple conference finals games, as we've seen when he's going up against LeBron James, him and DeRozan. They had a lot of playoff experience and postseason experience and championship mentality and experience in this game and in this team throughout the series. And we saw that experience matters in the postseason. So congrats to the Toronto Raptors. Go out there and do your best against the Warriors, because I would totally love to see you guys win. But yeah, I got it right. I feel like a wizard. We're gonna have a Warriors. Let me put this in. We're gonna have a Warriors and Raptors finals, and I picked it. I feel so happy about this. I'm so giddy because I was like, yes, I'm so happy the Raptors got to the finals, because now I just look like a freaking genius because I picked this from the start. Woo! And I put that on camera. A lot of people were saying, I got the Raptors and the Warriors. Well, not a lot of people. A few people were like, the Raptors can make it, but the Warriors are definitely going to make it. But no one put their predictions on camera. I did this on camera. I picked this, so now I look like a genius. Let's go. But anyway, guys, I'm tired, man. Really, again, congrats to Kawhi, congrats to Kyle Lowry, congrats to the whole crew out there. Congrats to Toronto for getting to the NBA Finals. You've got a chance to go up against the Warriors, and hopefully you can beat them to win a championship. Go out there and do your best. That being said, I'm out of here. Woo! I was right.